Hey, what's up, everyone? I'm Sade. Thank y'all so much for joining me for our astrology talk. For today, we are diving into the Mercury retrograde that we have happening in the sign of Taurus on April 21st. But really, the pre shadow of this Mercury retrograde has been happening since the beginning of April. So, wherever you have Taurus in your chart, that will be the major theme for the remainder of April and really all of May. We will be in the clear from our eclipse energy as well as our retrograde energy by Gemini season around June. That's when it might feel like, okay, things are in the clear. We can really move into this summer energy after we've had the shifts and the chaos with the eclipse season. So, before I dive deeper into what Mercury retrograde in Taurus will bring, if you have not seen any of my videos on what the planet Mercury means or what the sign Taurus is, go ahead and check that out. I have tons of videos on my YouTube channel. Very briefly, for the sake of this video, Taurus is the sign ruled by Venus. It rules pleasure, it rules luxury. It is a fixed earth sign, so it is really about resources. And I said this in my Taurus Sun video, but Taurus is one of those signs that are really about money and wealth. So this Mercury retrograde time will make us put a magnifying glass on our resources where we have a lack of or an abundance of, and where we might need to shift some things around so that we can take advantage of Taurus energy once Mercury goes direct. Now, the planet Mercury is the planet ruler of communication. It's the ruler of how we think, how we analyze, and how we process things. And depending on what sign Mercury is in, that is going to be what you are thinking about, what you are processing, and wanting to communicate and learn more about. So, because we have Mercury in the sign of Taurus, this is the theme of relationships, boundary setting, values and belief systems, as well as money and resources. And with Mercury going retrograde in this sign, it's a really good time to reevaluate how are my contracts with others. Very similar to the energy we had in the Libra full moon, because Taurus is also a Venus sign, just like Libra, it's bringing about those same types of questions right after we have the solar eclipse. So it's a really good time to start thinking about, where am I not satisfied in my life? Where is there a lack of security and foundation? That is what Taurus is about. Taurus is fixed. So it's all about my foundation, my security, and my comfort. Wherever you have Taurus in your chart, that is going to be where you are trying to prioritize more foundation, more security, and more comfort. And that security is going to come through your resources, and your resources are going to be based off of your value systems. Taurus is very big on value. How are you valuing or not valuing yourself? Because Taurus is a Venus ruled sign, anything dealing with Venus is about the law of attraction. And the only way for the law of attraction to work is by you embodying what it is that you want so that you can attract it as your mirror. It's the opposite of Mars. Mars is how we go after the things that we want actively. Venus is about, how do I attract that by embodying? So when dealing with this Mercury retrograde, wherever you have Taurus in your chart, where have you not been putting enough value into that area? Where have you not been putting enough attention into that area? And really attention into yourself. Once you can put that attention into yourself, see what it is that you need, then you can go ahead and attract those resources for yourself. Now, resources is also dependent upon your relationships, your contracts with people. And those contracts can be anything from family, friends, romance, business partners, pets, plants, anything. How are you in relation to these things? Because we will have a lunar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio, which is the opposite sign of Taurus. And if Taurus is about how we go about attracting our own resources, Scorpio is how we absorb resources through our relation to others. So it's really how we absorb other people's resources because of the relationship we have to them. And that helps us to build more wealth as a team. So when we have the lunar eclipse in the sign of Scorpio, wherever we have not been valuing certain partnerships, or wherever certain partnerships have no longer been serving its purpose in our life, that lunar eclipse is going to take that relationship out so that we can truly attract what it is that we want for ourselves. So by doing the work now before the eclipse season, or just throughout all of May, we really have a lot of time to work with this energy. You can really cut back some areas that have not been making you feel secure and stable, have not been giving you the resources that you need, and where you have not been valuing yourself. I had someone tell me this last year: you should always be reevaluating your values. And whenever you reevaluate your values, you will always have to reevaluate your circle of friends, family, business partners, etc. Why? Because something that might have meant something to you last year or might have been a priority for you last year might not be a priority now. And if you take the time to say, okay, this is what I value now in this present moment, then you also got to say, okay, who are the people around me that also value these things, right? And if they don't, then I have to shift around my circle. So a lot of change, which is very uncomfortable for Taurus energy. And what really makes this Mercury retrograde really powerful is we have Uranus, which is the planet of change, random change, drastic change, also in the sign of Taurus. And we will have Jupiter stationing into the sign of Taurus right after Mercury stations direct in mid May. So there's a lot of opportunity to collect abundance, but first you have to do the work of eliminating and getting rid of habits and routines that are no longer needed so that you can attract that abundance. Now, the planet Saturn is in the sign of Pisces, which can really help this Mercury retrograde energy. Why? Because Pisces and Taurus are soul signs and they make a sextile with each other. So really use that Saturnian energy of getting things in order, getting things organized, being very strict and disciplined about what your values are, what your beliefs are, and eliminating, getting rid of what is no longer needed. And that lunar eclipse in Scorpio is going to help with that. So that by the time Jupiter enters into Taurus, which it will be in Taurus for a full year, you will be able to receive the abundance of what Taurus brings, which is going to be all things Venusian, all things pleasurable, all things fun. So that is all I have for Mercury retrograde in the sign of Taurus. Definitely go ahead, take some time for this Mercury retrograde to reevaluate areas of your chart where you have this Taurus and Scorpio energy. And really try not to use Mercury retrograde as a moment to be fearful. No, this is a really great opportunity to cut back some things, do some editing so that you can really have the beautiful image of what you want to move forward with as we move into the summertime season. All right, y'all, I will see you for our lunar eclipse video as well as our Jupiter in Taurus video. Have a great Mercury retrograde season, and I will talk to y'all soon.